doing push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
Sweet sassy molassy, it is a Friday here in Stream City. DJ Yoakley with you alongside the main man, Scotty Mincher, on a Friday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. So glad you could join us. Got a lot to talk about today, and the guy that's steering the ship, as always, when he comes on this boat is Scotty Mincher. What's up, my dude?
Like you said, TGIF, I'm ready to go. I am excited. My Cavaliers, it wasn't what I thought was going to happen, but
Paper
I'm a
champions.
Cleveland fan, so you get kind of, I don't want to say used to it because I'm still like disappointed. It was pretty embarrassing losing in 5, but as a Cleveland fan, you only could just like sit back and shake your head. So, but other than that, I'm doing great. I had a good physical therapy session yesterday. I'm getting stronger. I just need to get a damn therapist that has a walker. If you're listening, Infinity Therapy, it's really ticking me off because none of them have a walker. So I really, when I do things, I go full throttle, like balls to the wall. So I really want to start getting back on the walker, but I'm good, man.
I like hearing that.
You?
I guess we're not going to get our sponsorship from Infinity Therapy anytime soon, but that's all right. Scotty, I just can't wait to see that video, and I think people don't realize that video you put out a few months ago, how impactful that was on me and by people that follow you and follow you on the show and naturally follow you at YSN and have known you for a long time. Man, I can't wait to see another one of those. I can't.
Yeah, and that was a little jab there, but they are really good sessions. I am building up. I am getting stronger, getting more endurance. So good things are happening, but I'm just not a patient person. So that's why I had to throw a little jab.
Typical Cleveland fan, not a patient person.
Yeah.
We're going to get into the draft a little bit, I'm sure of it. In saying that you're not a patient person, Scotty, what was last night like for you watching your team not do anything at all? And on social media, they put out Deshaun Watson with a draft hat on saying they got their guy.
Yeah, I know it didn't look great last year. His small 6-game sample size. There were some good moments, some flashes that things could be really good, but more bad than good for sure. But he still, and I thought he was. I think a good word for it is underwhelming. I was underwhelmed by how he played. He still went 3-3. I mean, they went 7-10 on the season, so that's better than what the record ended up for the season, which is 3 games below 500. So I know it's a big risk, and who knows how Watson's gonna look. And it all comes down to him. He's got to be great. He's got to be in the conversation, with Josh Allen and with Mahomes, with Burrow. He's got to be in the top five for this to work for the Browns. And people, they may think it seemed like that was miles and miles away last year. He was the farthest thing from that. But I still would have made the move. I think you have to have a franchise quarterback to win. And as much as I talked up Baker and was in his corner, he's an average quarterback. He's not terrible.
He's not top 10?
No, that was
Huh.
I had to eat crow there.
Interesting. Is Deshaun Watson top 10?
I think he will be.
Oh boy.
I think there's a chance he could even be top 5.
Oh boy. Scotty, oh boy.
I think he could be the second best quarterback in the AFC North. Yeah.
Well, that's convincing. The second best quarterback in his division. That's good.
I mean, Joe Burrow, he's a bad what though. I mean, you for a while there, you were really drinking the Kool-Aid.
I like Joe Burrow.
You,
I just don't think Jamar Chase is better than the offensive player of the year. Crazy me.
Jamar Chase, I believe, had a huge catch that led to a game-tying touchdown in that Chiefs game. So
that's great.
I don't think he lost.
I don't think David Tyree, who had a pretty decent catch in the Super Bowl, is going to be knocking on Canton's door anytime soon, though. So just saying.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is more talented than David Tyree. But,
I will agree with you on that one.
But
when it comes to Justin Jeffries, sorry, pal, you're still sitting in that rowboat by yourself.
So you think Jefferson is because I would take. It's interesting. I really like Justin Jefferson, but if I was gonna put someone else in there, I'd probably take Tyreek Hill after Jamar Chase. But Justin Jefferson is phenomenal.
Is this sponsored by CBD? Like, are you high right now? Like, what's going on? Like that? There's no way you're taking Tyreek Hill over Justin Jefferson.
I think he single-handedly
Almost
put the Dolphins in the playoffs last year.
Single-handedly?
Yeah, because he commands so much attention. He's the fastest player in the league. They can't cover him.
Oh boy! You realize the Chiefs won the Super Bowl without him, right?
I do realize that, but I also realize that Miami was dog doo-doo before he got there, and they were a playoff team last year, and they would have beat the Bills if they would have had an adequate quarterback playing in that game.
Or, another receiver that wasn't extremely overpaid because he's fast and speed dies quickly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Well, since we're on this,
the Vikings, by the way, the Vikings got better last night, and so did Jefferson, because they got the kid from USC who transferred from Pitt. I
really like him a lot.
Yeah, he's going to make that team a lot better, and dude, Justin Jefferson is going to be awesome next year. And your Jamar Chase little promotion, your elect Jamar Chase election cycle is going to go right down the pooper, buddy.
I don't. That's. I guess we could agree to disagree
We
there.
always do. We always do on this stuff because your hot takes are like tamales, my friend, and you are. It's like being on Scotty Island because you are by yourself on these takes.
Well, all I know is the Bengals drafted Joe Burrow and they drafted Jamar Chase, and they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and then a play away from being in the Super Bowl this past year. Could have been in if Patrick Mahomes wasn't knocked out of bounds late, hit out of bounds late by the defender. Uh,
You
so
live in like a rhetorical world, don't you? Just like if this happens, then this doesn't happen. Like that's how you live, Scotty. If Patrick Mahomes doesn't get knocked out of bounds there, and they throw the 15-yard penalty and the flag, then the Chiefs don't go to the Super Bowl and they don't win it, and the Browns somehow get the first pick in the draft, and like you live in like a Marvel universe that it's so linear that if this happens and you start plucking things out, that the Browns or the Guardians are going to win something.
I thought you were gonna tell me because I've had friends tell me this before. I thought you were gonna say uh, either. I've had friends say if my aunt had balls,
Oh, here we
she
go.
would be my uncle.
Yep.
But
Yeah, that's a PG-13 way to put it for sure.
yeah, keeping it PG-13 on this show, but I I don't know. I just think that Jamar Chase. I mean, I guess again we agree to disagree. The Bengals got to the AFC title game. The Vikings got knocked out in the first round, and they had the worst point differential of any
Because
playoff.
their defense stinks. Their defense is awful. It's atrocious. That has nothing to do with their offense. Nothing. Like they can score 50 points, they're going to lose 51-50.
Well, how did they make the playoffs then?
Scoring points.
Well, yeah, you do have a point there. Well, we're still on football in this topic before we get this show totally just
You have the
turned
cards, man.
into.
You're. I told you, you're steering the ship today. So I have no idea where we're going. We haven't talked in pre-show. We didn't do anything. So you roll as long as you want on these topics.
All right, cool. Well, I just wanted to know from you because you asked me what it was like, and another reason why I was fine with it, real quick, before I get into your thoughts, is I do like. Again, it's games aren't played on paper. The last 5 years, I thought the Browns were going to be good. They've only been good one of those years, and that was the COVID year. So they got to go out and do it on the field. As Chris Berman would say, that's why you play the game. But I think they have their team ready to go. It's just about going out and executing now. I would like to see them get some more help for Myles Garrett on the D line. I think that's number one priority. Maybe they could find, a third round gem in this draft. But I wanted to know for you, DJ. I think it was the first time in over 20 years. So going back to even dating back to pre-Big Ben, that the Steelers took an offensive lineman with their first round pick. Uh, do you like that they went that route with the offensive lineman? And then also, what do you think? Because I haven't followed their off-season moves religiously, but what do you think of them going with that lineman with the first pick? And also, what did you think of the Allen Robinson pickup, and I think they just made it official a day or two ago. But a lineman's not. It's never a sexy pick. Fans never, are jumping up and down when a team drafts a lineman. But were you cool with it?
So DeCastro, and I had to look this up while you were talking there. DeCastro in 2012 was the last that I know of lineman that was drafted in the first round by the Steelers. So
Okay,
it's
so
been 11 years or something like that.
okay,
But I do love this pick. And if we couldn't get the kid from Ohio State, I'm taking the kid from Georgia and Broderick Jones. And I like it a lot because I didn't really look at his film, but when you see the highlights, when ESPN and the NFL Network show the highlights as he's drafted, you watch the film. And I know before anybody says, well, that's the highlights, you should see it. His highlights were scary good. Like scary good, because he's a natural basketball player, and he went, I think they statted him as over 400 snaps with passes, and he didn't let up a sack this year. Not one. And when you look at that and you got a big dude, and he's a big dude and he's athletic and he's not afraid to bull you over and maul you, I think Myles Garrett has just been neutralized. And I love it. I love it. Love it.
I will say it seemed like from what I watched of the Steelers that their O-line did leave a lot to be desired last year. So I understand why they went with an offensive lineman with the first pick in the draft. It'll be interesting because they pretty much, because correct me if I'm wrong, DJ, the Steelers do also have the first pick in the second round. So it's almost like having two first rounders with having, the first pick in the second that early. And you can get, Pro Bowl, all pro players. I mean, Nick Chubb was a second round pick. So you said you love that pick in the first round. What position, or is there any players, or is it more just a certain position you like to see them go after starting tonight, starting in the second and third round?
Well, I'm not gonna correct you, but I'm gonna give you a better example of a second round player that took his team to the Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts. I don't think Nick Chubb's gonna be able to do that, unfortunately for you, Scotty. So Jalen Hurts, yes, is a second round for the Philadelphia Eagles, and yes, I do like having the 32nd pick right now. I like having the first pick of the second round. 7 o'clock can't come soon enough. I think we're going to be doing a little bit of NFL draft chatter here on YSN, set up a StreamYard and just have people talk about, what they see and what they like. Because all of our games are getting washed out. I think we have 2 games, and they're both at Austintown Fitch, I believe. The South Range baseball game got moved over to Austintown Fitch because of the turf. And Fitch, the girls are playing Champion, I think, on the turf. So those are the only 2 things going on. We have them covered, but we still need to create content. So I think we are doing a kind of a draft party kind of deal tonight, since it's a Friday night and there's not a whole lot to do. So if you got nothing to do, we'll break down some draft. But to answer your question, I hope they trade 32 away. I don't think unless they can get something unbelievable. They don't need a quarterback. I think Will Levis is going to be a really good quarterback in the NFL. He's still sitting there after everybody told him, in the NFL that he's going to get drafted. Less than a 0.1% chance that he doesn't get drafted. And of course, he's the guy that doesn't get drafted. He already went home. Joey Porter Jr. went home. So it's going to be interesting to see how tonight goes. There's a lot of talent on the board, but nobody that would. I'm gonna play GM for a second. Is that okay, Scotty? I would love Steelers to trade the 32 and Deontay Johnson, who is the wide receiver from Toledo, who just signed a contract, and he's under contract, pretty decent contract, for a few years. Trade him somewhere that needs a receiver, like a Houston or, somewhere like that, for a lot of draft capital, or a talented cornerback and a draft pick next year. Not this year. I don't care about this year. I think we have our team pretty much set from this standpoint. So I would like to see that. That's if I'm in control of it. And I think you're going to see a lot of teams trying to trade up with the Steelers tonight because they want Will Levis and they want the kid from Tennessee, Hernan Hooker or whatever his name was. The quarterback from Tennessee. I think you're going to see a lot of teams that are going to try to start drafting some linemen. The tight end from Notre Dame is out there, Michael Mayer. He's going to be a stout tight end. People were comparing him to Jason Witten last night. Jason Witten's a Hall of Fame tight end. I don't know why he didn't go, but that's going to be advantage for somebody. And if the Steelers needed a tight end, that'd be a perfect spot for him. But Steelers need some defense. They need, and Siggy will tell you straight up, we go back and forth all the time. I said that the Steelers needed a powerful lineman, someone on that blind side for Kenny that's going to knock the crap out of guys like Myles Garrett and those edge rushers. Because if you neutralize an edge rusher, we have the pieces in wide routes. We do. We got a guy named Cedric Austin III, who's yet to touch the field, who is a speedster, who could be one of the better wide receivers in the division. And that's saying something in the AFC North. But yeah, I want to see him traded away. There's nobody out there that I'm sitting there salivating about and going, oh my gosh, Jalen Carter's gone. I wanted him. Basically anybody that went to Georgia, I want them. But the one that's going to surprise you, Scotty, I know I'm getting long-winded here. I want Stetson Bennett at some point in this draft. Even if it's the third round, go for it. And then let Mitch Trubisky go. Let him walk. Somebody will pick him up and take a flyer on him. And you've got Kenny Pickett and Stetson Bennett in that quarterback room, and guys that, fought for national championships. Bennett has 2 of them. Guys that fought for Heisman trophies. Obviously Kenny Pickett came up short, but he was in the conversation. That's what I want the Steelers to do. And I know everybody's going to say, we need defense. We also need a backup quarterback because Kenny Pickett had 2 concussions last year. That's why you have to draft an offensive lineman in the first round. So if the Steelers are able to, and I don't think anybody's going to be, to my knowledge, nobody's in love with Stetson Bennett right now. Wait it out. Maybe get one of those picks is a late, like a 4th or a 5th, and roll a dice on Stetson Bennett. And then you got 2 young quarterbacks that if something happens to Kenny, you've got another quarterback, you roll right in. Either way, they're going to be better.
Did you say either way they're going to be better than the Browns?
Yeah.
Well, all right. We'll see about that. But
here we go. Isn't Bennett 39 years old? Says Sam. Interesting about that. Yeah, he is. And who was the redheaded quarterback you guys drafted out of I don't know, Ginger U or wherever it was?
You had to remind me
Brandon
about that.
Weeden is his name.
So okay, State.
I hope Sam, and you can thank Sam for this because I wasn't going to say anything about it, but Browns fans talking about draft stock and drafting is like the inmates running the asylum.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we have a horrible draft history.
I saw a great, and you might have seen this last night, Scotty, on Twitter. The Browns said, "Got our guy. We got our guy," and it was a picture of Deshaun Watson, right, in a draft hat. And one of the best comments I saw, and I love reading the comments on this, on a lot of this, even if it's Steelers, I like being able to laugh at this. And someone said, "I can't believe that our social media team is just as bad as our football team."
Yeah, they're they're all in. I mean, they did give them 200 and with a 30, 40 mil fully guaranteed. So, I mean, and Jimmy Haslam is a criminal. So the Browns
The
might
Browns serve as
be.
what not to do, says Sam.
I and I'm not. I guess I am saying this
Oh
just
boy.
because I've always been a fan, and
Full screen. Here we go. Full screen.
I've been a season ticket holder for I think it'll be over 10. It should be 11 years now this coming season. So I've been a season ticket holder a long time. Watched a lot of bad football. Not saying like Watson, as far as he goes as a person, like I'm not gonna go out buy a Watson T-shirt or a Watson jersey, any Watson apparel. But it's also I heard a guy who covers the Guardians every day, and Andre Knott. They asked him about it last year, and a guy from Cleveland posed the question: if the Browns do win, is it gonna be dirty? Is it gonna be a dirty championship? Is it not gonna feel right? Is there gonna be some sort of like black mark against it? And Andre Knott said that no championship or no team is clean. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that players do things as bad as Watson, but Andre Knott covers the Guardians every single day. So he's in the locker room doing interviews. I don't think he would just say that just to say it. So
What?
these guys that we all think are all squeaky clean
No.
and
Listen,
these great people, it's just not the case.
I understand it. You know, everybody's team has some of those guys. They do. I understand that, but not to that degree. I guess is the biggest thing. Like
people get fixated on the number, DJ, but with your boy, and again, he was a great player, Hall of Famer. Like, not take it, can't take anything
I know
away
where this is
from
going. I know where this
talent
is
wise
going.
on the field.
Sure.
But what your boy did, in my eyes, allegedly what he did was worse than what's Watson done. But
of course it is. But if Watson plays for the Jaguars, you're saying nothing about that. Like you're saying, oh, that guy's a scumbag. Scotty, you say you're not going to buy a jersey. I guarantee you, if the Browns go to the playoffs, I guarantee you are wearing a number 4 jersey and you've got a number 4 shirt or Deshaun Watson's the guy. Like, and that's okay. That's okay. That's why America is so great. It is the Republic. It is the ultimate place of being in the world. You're allowed to have favorite players that let you down as human beings, right? You're not rooting for them as a human being per se. You're rooting for them because they're your favorite player on your favorite team most of the time. That's okay. But don't put yourself in a hole, Scotty, because I know you. I know you well. And if the Browns mess around and win 12 games, you will be clad in a Deshaun Watson jersey, I guarantee you. Guarantee you.
See, I just don't see it. Like I could see myself in a in a Nick Chubb jersey,
You
I
already
could
have a
see.
Nick Chubb jersey, don't you?
I don't have a Chubb. I have two Baker Mayfield
Oh,
jerseys.
wear that one.
I
That'll
have
go well.
I have a Bernie jersey, and I have, who else do I have? Kellen Winslow.
Wear that one too while you're at it.
I have the Ubermensch jersey, the custom white, the clean. I love it that you got for me.
Oh
Love
yeah.
that jersey. So, yeah, I surprisingly I don't have a Nick Chubb. I probably should have went with the Chubb over a second Baker, but that's when they were coming off the 2020 year and I was on a Baker high. I was drinking that Kool-Aid.
You drink a lot of Kool-Aid, my friend.
Speaking of that, where are so
Oh, here we go.
You said you want the Steelers to draft Stenson Bennett, and I agree with you that I don't think teams are gonna be like. I think for teams, he's someone that if he's there, maybe they take a flyer, but I don't think they're necessarily chomping at the bit to draft someone like that. So I I guess what I get from that comment is you think that not that Kenny Pickett's bad, but I'm getting from that you think there's kind of a limit on his ceiling, and maybe you think he could be good or adequate, but never reach a level of
No,
greatness
what
or
the hell
being
are you reading into? Like, what did I say that ever indicated that I don't believe in Kenny Pickett at all? Because we're drafting another quarterback? Because I want them to draft Stetson Bennett? No, I said because Kenny Pickett has had 2 concussions in the first year of his professional career. That's why I want a quarterback. If we've got Kenny Pickett and Bennett is his backup, for the next 5 years, and Kenny takes every snap, I don't care. I know that we have a quarterback. Right now, we have Mitch Trubisky as our backup quarterback. I wouldn't sell you a Mitch Trubisky card right now, Scotty. Like, he stinks. He's awful. He's so bad.
But when they signed him, you thought at the time he could be an under the radar, like you thought
He
that
could be adequate.
I think you were one of the guys that you pulled up some stat to me that said his numbers were better than Watson's or something. I think you were one of those people that thought he was going to be
he has
solid.
more. I believe he has more playoff victories or victories in his career than Deshaun Watson does.
And Deshaun Watson's, he's also been on the last team he was on, won 4 games, but he led the league in passing.
Okay, you're acting like Trubisky was like on the Patriots, or like he was on the Bills as a backup to Josh Allen. He was on the Bears. Where else did he play? I mean,
and the Bears had the best defense in the league his first year, and he stunk.
He made the Pro Bowl.
He wasn't good. That's why they double doinked, because he couldn't drive him down. He's just like Baker. He's good until he really has to be, and then he can't do it.
You were such a flip-flopper, dude. I'm sitting here saying that Mitch Trubisky isn't good, and you've got me defending him over Baker Mayfield and who's Deshaun Watson. Like, I never have said in my life that Deshaun Watson is a great elite quarterback. If you remember, I even said, man, it'd be nice to have Deshaun Watson. Then I quickly reverse skate on that one.
So wait, just
$260 million? Yeah, he's not worth that, man.
Answer this though, DJ, right now, in your honest opinion, your heart of hearts, or you for the next the next 5 years, I could give you, let's just play a fun hypothetical world.
Okay, get to it. Let's go.
I could give you the Sean Watson for free. You don't have to pay him the 260 million or whatever. You could just have the Sean Watson. Would you take him as your starter over Kenny Pickett for the next 5 years?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Really don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I didn't get to watch him too closely this year, but I know he didn't do real well. And I got to watch him with you at B-Dubs against the Steelers, and I know our defense wasn't real great. And he did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but the offense wasn't.
Okay, so Scotty. If you're paying a guy $260 million, there's no yeah buts, man. I mean, there's no yeah buts. You pay a guy $260 million, he better shine your shoes and thank you for being able to do so. That dude better be able to throw touchdowns from 90 yards out. From the second your guy takes a touchback and takes a knee, he comes out and slings it, and he better be in the MVP conversation every stinking week.
And I think he will be. I think
he couldn't beat the Steelers, who were Swiss cheese on defense. That was it. We sat there and watched it, and you sat there and drank a beer, and every time he messed up, it was like you had another one, and another one, and another one. $260 million better buy you a lot of wins. And that's the problem that the Ravens are going to have, because there's a lot of people that you cannot pay because you're paying that guy. So he better, in baseball, it's called a wins above replacement. His WAR better be unbelievable. He better be able to account for the defense that you're not going to get, the receivers that you won't get, the offensive line that he's not going to be able to get. He better be able to win games. And he couldn't win games with money still in the bank. Now, he was being paid $1 million last year. That doesn't work this year.
Yeah, but
but. No, but. 260 mil.
He has a full off season this year. No off the field.
Hey, Scotty, breaking news. He had 3 years between starts or some crazy stat like that. This offseason doesn't do anything for him. He should be rested. He should be better than rested. The dude basically slept on a sleep number every night for 3 years doing nothing. And you're saying, well, this offseason is going to help. Tell me why. Because he needed rest?
Because I think they're going to. Because, listen, they had to build an offense when they knew he was suspended 11 games. They had to build and orchestrate their offense around Jacoby Brissett, because Jacoby Brissett was a completely different quarterback, and they had to incorporate an offense all based on rhythm and timing and getting the ball out quick. False. Now, knowing they have Watson and they're going to have him a full season, they could open up the playbook. They could get more vertical. A lot's going to change.
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski said
so. He said it. He's a guy to believe in, Scotty. Remember, because he's the greatest coach. You wanted him fired last year. You wanted him out. You were pointing the finger at Stefanski during that game, saying he's the reason. It wasn't Watson. It wasn't the fact that he couldn't complete a pass like a high school quarterback and he's getting paid gazillions of dollars. It was the fact they don't give the ball to Nick Chubb. Let's face it. Let's call it what it is. We're going to change the offense. Okay, give the ball to Nick Chubb. That's what every Browns fan
wants. And I did want them out, but at least if they're not going to have them out, at least Stefanski sacked up and he fired his defensive coordinator, which our defense was horrible. He fired our special teams coach.
You hired Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz,
who
of the Lions.
And he was the defensive coordinator on a Super Bowl winning Eagles team.
Wasn't he the same coach that went 0-16 with the Lions?
He took the Lions to the playoffs.
But didn't he go 0-16 as well?
I don't think so.
I'll have to look that up. I'm pretty sure he was the 0-16 Jim Schwartz. Anyway,
No,
Jim Schwartz is not. I'm telling you, Scotty. Jim Schwartz is not a prize. He's not a prize. You like the shiny.
He's better than Joe Woods.
You like shiny new toys. I figured this out about you a long time ago. You like shiny new toys and you like playing with them. But the problem with shiny new toys is they get a little tarnished sometimes. And all of a sudden that tarnishing becomes really, really, really bad. This dude is a Steelers fan. This dude is a Steelers. I am a Steelers fan. 100% Steelers fan, Eric. 100%. And I'm not telling you that it's not. I'm just telling you, I'm the Browns-esque. This cloud, this gray cloud that follows Scotty around and all Browns fans. Be excited for tonight, right? But understand that you are in the midst of this, all of this. When you spend $200+ million on quarterbacks, you limit what you can put around.
You're saying you're acting like Lamar. You're acting like Lamar when he's on the field, like he's not worth it. He's taken the Ravens to the playoffs. He's won an MVP. Every year he's in, they're in the playoffs or in the mix. He's taken them to the divisional round. What has your boy Kenny Pickett done so far? Did he make the playoffs last year?
Nope.
No, he didn't.
Nope. Baby hand quarterback. Yep. Yeah, he's got small hands. He's also got some comeback victories. But what was the stat about Kenny? About he's the only quarterback in NFL history to have back-to-back games that leading his team back and winning in the last minute, something like that. I mean, listen, stats aren't important.
And you're all about championships, and you say, and the Steelers weren't even in the playoffs. So what does it matter?
You're right, Scotty. They weren't in the playoffs. They're typically not in the playoffs, though. We've went 20 years between playoffs, right? Isn't that the Steelers' MO is, we typically don't make the playoffs. We draft in the top 10, and then we bust the draft because we draft idiots like Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, Kellen Winslow. I mean, come on. Like, I get it. I understand it. Like, it's okay. You can be mad at but you're going to be yelling this time in let's say 7 months. Let's call it 7 months, right? You're going to be screaming that your quarterback is terrible and your franchise is doomed. I'll put Skittles on it. I'll put Skittles on it right now that you're going to say Deshaun Watson is terrible. It was the worst trade in the history of sports, and the Browns are set back 10 to 20 years. It's coming.
I'll put Skittles on that.
How'd the Baker Mayfield one go for you?
Not well, but nobody's perfect.
Eric Collins says you must be a Michigan
fan.
I'm not a Michigan fan, but I'm certainly not an Ohio State fan either. I'm a Westminster fan because that's where I went to college because I that's what I do. Most Ohio State fans say, "Well, I'm from Ohio, so that's where," but they won't go to Ohio State. I don't know. Eric, where did you go to school? Are you root for Ohio State? Where did you go to school? YSU? I don't know. Teal? Where? That's the interesting thing. That's another topic of conversation that I love when people tell me how much of a Ohio State fan they are, but they don't go there for college for some reason. People that go to Ohio State, God bless them. Other people, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well, also...
Touche. Touche. The United States Marine Corps. My friend, thank you for your service. You get a pass. Um, damn, you got me on that one. There's no doubt about that.
You also, and it's understandable because he's one of your, a person that you've looked up to for years. You will admit that you've kind of held a grudge against Ohio State since the Trustful
Since stressful
fallout,
stuff,
right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Survey
Well,
says tuition.
I'll tell you this, DJ. People might think I'm crazy. This is not how I think, but how most Ohio State fans think. Because I'm a Buckeye fan, but I don't consider myself a fanatic. I consider myself more of a a bigger fan of Cleveland sports than I do Ohio State. I even have rooted for YSU when YSU's played Ohio State in the past.
I root for YSU.
But
They're local.
I will say that um, Ryan Day loses to Michigan again this year. He goes 0-3. I think he's going to be on the hot. There's going to be people that want him fired, want him gone. I mean, after he lost this past year, fans were chanting, "We want Urban," and it's just uh, a lot of Ohio State fans. Every year, it's like it's beat Michigan and be in the playoff, compete for a national title, or it's a bust. And he's already got more losses than Trustful and Urban Meyer combined. He loses again. I think he's gonna have serious heat on him.
Cleveland fans, to me, maybe just Browns fans and Ohio State fans are either neighbors or like ancestral people. I don't know, like brothers. So they live in the same house because basically it's either we beat the Steelers every year or it's a bust, or we beat Michigan and it's a bust. Like, no, you can go 11-1 and make the playoffs and then fight for a national championship. It's not a bust. And Michigan people are the same way. I don't understand it. They make huge deal about this one game, the rivalry, the game, whatever, Listen, I've been there. I've been an Ohio State fan.
You're not.
Go ahead.
You're not big on you just think rivalries are over, like the significance of a win against your rival is in sports is overrated. Is that
No,
what
but
you're saying?
I would never be that person at this point in my life, right? When I was younger, I guess I didn't really understand it, but like there's adult people saying, well, if we don't beat Michigan or if we don't beat Ohio State or we don't beat the Browns, and it's what? What are you talking about? What are you like? What do you mean? So if the Steelers
Hold
go
on,
14,
my point is,
go ahead, Scotty.
I'm so it's a habit I'll never break is cutting people. I just want you to know that my point is, DJ. I don't think that way. Like, what was the playoff win against the Steelers? Great, yeah, but my ultimate expectations is Super Bowl. Like, if we lost twice to you guys this year, but our other, you know, 15 games, we only lost 3 games, and we went 12-5 and made it to the Super Bowl. I couldn't give a rat, you know what, about losing to you guys twice. So it's like I feel, but I hear that from Ohio State fans and Michigan fans too, and Brown and Steelers fans. It's just like, oh, beat the Steelers, beat Michigan, beat Ohio State.
You are a huge beat the Steelers guy because you compare everything the Browns do to the Steelers. Every time we talk, it's, well, if the Browns, when the Browns beat the Steelers, you came in with your what eating grin on, and your year was made. And you've said that That's all that matters. The rest is a cherry on top. You've said that. Have you not?
Well, I also said, if you remember, though, I said that was a great season, but it was also a missed opportunity because they didn't end up getting to the Super Bowl or winning it, and now they haven't sniffed it since. So yeah, because I mean, it was the only playoff win I've seen in my entire life, DJ. Like, yeah, I was feeling myself after that. Like, I was feeling good. But I feel like you would too. You, I don't know. I just feel like, DJ, you have this sentiment that Cleveland fans are always like, woe is me, and feel bad for me. But it's easy for you to say when your city has won championships out the yin yang.
Here we go. The Cleveland victimization. Poor is us. We are so like, listen, man, stop. We've talked about this
I'm
before with the
saying,
Guardians and the Cavs. Like, you had LeBron James, arguably the best player on the planet, the best player to ever play the game, arguably, for how many years, and you got one title. One title.
so you're proving my point
What?
that, like, if that was you, if Pittsburgh had a basketball team and the best player in the world
We have a
played
hockey
on it.
team, and we have the best player in the world, and we won 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, exact. And if you only won one, you'd be woe is me and bitter and angry too. That's just how it works.
No, dude, because I still have to watch ESPN Classic, like, replays of the Cavs winning the championship, like, night after night, and that's
Oh, but they don't play the Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl all the time. Classic games on NFL when Santonio Holmes made the catch in the back of the end
one of
zone.
the
They
great.
never play
Has it
that.
not been voted the greatest Super Bowl of all time, other than now with the Patriots and the Falcons?
I I mean, it's up there. Yeah, but there's been a lot of great Super Bowls. That Patriots Seahawks one, when they didn't give it to Marshawn Lynch, I think that was up there too.
Okay. That's
But
personal opinion. This was voted by the NFL.
what is the greatest Super Bowl of all time?
Yeah. It was. I mean, I'm not. It was on the NFL Network. I literally have seen that, and I agree. Until Patriots and what was it?
Okay,
Patriots.
DJ, and the Cavs were the first team ever in the history of the NBA since the NBA started to come back from 3-1 in the finals. So why can't we have our cake too then?
Oh gosh, I'm sorry, Scotty. I'm just really sorry that you're a Cleveland fan. It's like you were. It's not a choice or something.
It really isn't because my
Oh
dad
god,
brainwashed me.
just a victim, man. You come down to East Palestine. You can join the rest of the victims down here.
No, I'll be. Oh, I'm not on the. I'm off of the
Come on. I mean,
victim
you want
train.
me to put you on Fox News? You want to be on CNN? You can talk about being a victim of being a Cleveland fan. That's. I'm hearing it right now. The violin's playing for you, dude. Come on, dude. Come on.
But then you talk about
I'm not a victim.
you before this year you were
I had
what
zero
was me
expectations
on
for
the
my team.
Pirates and
No,
Guardians
no, I'm
fans.
not. Listen,
So,
I'm not woe is me at all. I'm not woe is me on the Pirates.
yeah,
I'm a
you would
Pirates
say
fan.
how they stink,
They
and
do
it's
stink.
you would be all Debbie Downer about
I'm
in the
not Debbie.
dumps about the
Nope,
Pirates.
not Debbie Downer about the Pirates. Yeah, ask Chris Sigler. Listen, you ask anybody. I've got money on the Pirates. Now that I'm allowed to bet, the money is on the Pirates, my friend. Go ahead. You go do the same thing. Go ahead.
But why shouldn't I? Though? Why shouldn't I like have faith? Like
You can
we
have
talked
faith,
about
but
before.
dude, listen, don't talk out of both sides of this guy. Be like, oh, we're gonna win the Super Bowl, but poor is us because we haven't won a Super Bowl. We can't get to the playoffs, but we're gonna win. We have the best quarterback, arguably the number 2 quarterback in the division, and the number 5 overall. Like, come on, Scotty, you can't have it. You can't butter your bread on both sides. You can't do that. You got to pick one or the other. You got to take one or the other. Either poor as you because you're a Cleveland fan, or you guys have one of the best quarterbacks and the best trade ever, and you're paying him $200 billion to play for it. Like, you can't have it both ways. The cake doesn't go down.
Okay, well, I'm officially riding on. We have one of the elite quarterbacks
Oh,
in the
God bless
league.
you.
And
God
we're
bless
gonna
you. I
be a
enjoy
Super
that.
Bowl contender.
Do you maintain that, DJ, if Pittsburgh doesn't have the success that they have, or do you make the what? Do you maintain that, DJ? Do you maintain I'm just going to read from there. If Pittsburgh doesn't have the success they have, or do you try to make the failure make sense? I don't understand this question. Maybe I'm reading it incorrectly. Maybe I'm illiterate. I don't understand this. I don't think this was presented very well, Sam. But I will take the heat for this one. I don't understand that question.
Yeah, I don't really get that one.
Pittsburgh doesn't have the success they have, or do you try to make the failure make sense? My stance on Brown psyche, like I think he's talking about being able to say that one side or the. I listen.
I mean,
You can get behind your teams. That's cool.
we've all. My final point is we've all talked. We've all eaten crow. We've all talked out of both sides of our mouths at one point or another, whether we want to admit it or not.
Sure.
Like, it happens.
But you did it literally within 30 seconds of each other. You are a microwave, man. You're hot and cold. You are 100% Ben Gay is what you are, because you are.
Mark it down. Friday, April 28, 2023. Just know that I'm no longer woe is me Browns fan. We got Deshaun Watson, and we're gonna be a Forest Browns fan.
You hear that? That's not 60 minutes, man. That's the TikTok, because I know that the clock is ticking on your 5 years over there that you signed up for, and you are scared as hell that that's actually going to come to fruition. You and Dave, don't think that I'm not going to knock on Dave's door whenever 5 years comes and goes and you guys don't have a Super Bowl title. Don't think that that's not going to happen. Dave.
I don't remember. Is this year, are we going into year 3?
This is year 3. Just FYI, this is year 3, and you had like no draft picks. So you better get cooking.
Including this year, I got 3 years then.
You got 3 years.
3. I'll take that. I'll still take that.
I'm with Scotty. We either going to flourish or flame out. Scotty's been on the border of jumping ship. So I don't know how much you want to be on Scotty's side on this, Sammy. I'm just telling you, he's come in days and he's wondering if it's safe to jump to the Steelers side, or if he should be a Ravens fan, or who he should be with. So just so we're being candid, so we have a full picture of what this looks like. The guy that is telling you that you have an elite quarterback, top 5, is the same guy that said the same thing about a certain Baker Mayfield not 2 years ago, and had so much confidence that he and Dave put on a board that still stands here at HQ that they would win the Super Bowl within 5 years, or there is a bunch of Skittles on the line. I'm just saying, hedge your bets if you may, but understand who's in the foxhole with you. That's all I'm telling you. I'm a Raiders fan, the Browns of the West Coast. I can't argue that. I just can't argue that. Although I think now the Browns of the West Coast are officially the Chargers because they let the Jaguars in that playoff game come back and beat them. Scotty, just know that the Bills match our company colors if you're switching. Actually, our company colors are matched only by, well, I guess not only by, but mostly by the New England Patriots. So if you want to go down that road, you got the Patriots, the Texans, and that's pretty much it. The Bills have like a royal blue that we don't adopt that royal blue. We're navy blue. I know Eric's going to get pissed because it's navy blue, but sorry, man. That's just the way it is. It's how it goes. Scotty, are you ready for I mean, you've grandstanded us all day long, but can you do one more grandstand with the Joe Dickey Electric? What's your spark?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. It's the Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Anything commercial, residential, industrial, anything electrical. Make sure you head on over to dickeyelectric.com and tell them YSN sent you. Scotty, what do you got?
My spark is the Browns, building, in my opinion, in my eyes, what looks like a title contender, and I'm going to stay on that bandwagon. Also, my second spark, real quick here,
You're drunk.
is I don't know if any of you have tried the Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream.
Ooh.
But it is like drinking heaven, man. It is like childhood in a can, youth in a can. So that's my second spark.
Jessica chimes in, says, Browns till I die. We're used to the toilet talk. It's okay. We have thick skin.
I don't know, Jessica.
That's Sam's wife. Lovely, lovely. The better half, as they say, of the Torres family.
Well, DJ, so what's your spark?
I don't know why I let you on this show sometimes. I don't know why. Like, honest to God. Like, I was all fired up. You can go back, rewind it, run the tape back. From the top, I was excited. And I just, in the back of my mind, I knew you were going to come at me with this garbage. Like, I knew you were. Like, all the frustrations that you had last night of your stupid team not being announced, you took all that pent-up aggression and you brought it here today. And you just threw it at me. Just, it's like garbage all over the place. Ugh. Fired.
Brown, like the Browns.
You're fired.
Oh, man, that hurts. Right before we move in, I don't even get to roll into the new facility.
Oh, we're locking the door. No Scotties allowed. I'm going to hang a sign.
Oh, man.
Eric's got one. Eric says, mine is LeBray going deep into the playoffs and maybe states. That would be awesome. They're playing some good baseball right now. Those Vikings. Playing some really good baseball. A team that if you have not seen, you need to, whether it's on YSN or go out and support the kids. Eric Collins, we appreciate you as always stopping by. Thanks for giving us the rub a little bit and having some fun with us today. Scotty, I'm not even going to thank you today. Like, you're on my list. You just made the list.
All right, I'll take the L for today.
Thank you as always. I appreciate you stopping by on a Friday, man. Getting the weekend started right. Hopefully, you can watch your Browns. And everybody that doesn't know, we're just joking. Like, this is all it's all love.
We've known each other long enough.
This is all love. That's all it is. You have a great day as well, Eric. Enjoy it. Hopefully, you guys get some field time somewhere. I mean, this weather stinks. That's my real spark. This weather stinks. Everything's canceled except for like 2 games. So that's going to do it for our show. I hope you don't, again, this was kind of a shtick. Like we're just having fun, right? There's no hate for one another. I love this guy that's right next to me. He's my main squeeze, and I'd do anything for him. I'd give him the shirt off my back, and I'd build him a porch like I having built for my wife right now. So, anybody that's sitting there thinking that we're going at each other, there's nothing but love there. That is going to do it for the show. Everybody have a great, spectacular weekend. We hope you do so. Enjoy the raindrops, but make the most out of them. Make some sunshine in your own house if you have to. Scotty, thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
Thank you, DJ, and everybody have a great weekend.
We'll see you next week on the Ysn Power Hour, powered by Toyota of Warren. Ysn thanks you for